Hello and welcome back to Operations with Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and today we will be showcasing how to run a battleship in Tough. And I will be using one of the worst battleships to use, the Veneto. Well, I say it's the worst, it's because the Italians actually have historically accurate accuracy where you actually don't hit very much. Anyways, captain build. Really quickly, it's preventive maintenance, grease the gears, adrenaline rush, and concealment expert. After this, the next thing I would get would be fire prevention. Yeah, your basic battleship build. It's nothing special. We do not have, we don't really need is gun feeder, because Italian battleships actually get gun feeder built in somewhat. Italian ships are special. They get, when the gun feeder got reworked, Italian ships got it built in, and all the rest of the ships got gun feeder nerfed. So that's where Italian ships are special. Here are the modules real quick. It's nothing special. We have spotter aircraft instead of fighter because spotter is more helpful in ops in general, and there's no reason to take fighter at all ever. And then we have our basic build. You could do propulsion or damage control. We just have damage control here since I don't have any of the survivability skills. So we're this is our mitigation there plus there, and then aiming mod, and everything else is just normal for battleships. Okay. With that said, we will hop into battle. Now for Tough, the starting position of battleships is up here in the north. And see, we're not alone. We have two other battleships with us. But battleships, you will generally start up in the north unless you are in a division of 3 people or less. If you are in a 3-person division, you always spawn together. But as soon as you get that 4th person, the battleships will always start at the top. So what we're going to do is we are going to turn and we are going to go for the here. What I'm saying is, right in chat, they run away if you charge them. If you get within about 7 kilometers of the destroyers, they start running away. At which the easier point is to notice the island that the destroyer has already passed. That is about the point when they start to run away as soon as they're spotted, and they spot you within that range. But anyways, on to battleship play. What we are doing is we are turning to go take care of first the Omaha and then the Atlanta. Sometimes the Dallas will spawn up north, so the Atlanta can either spawn where it is in the A8 section, or it's at the A10 section. The Dallas can either spawn where it is in the CD10 line, on the 10 line, or it can spawn on the AB line on the 10 line. So the Dallas, and both those have somewhat unpredictable spawns. If the Dallas is spawning on the AB line, the Atlanta will always spawn on the 8 line. But if the Dallas is, and if the Atlanta spawns on the 10 line, then the Dallas will always spawn in the CD section. It's the other 2 spawns that are the other things. And where the destroyers is, he's already spawned the Clemson, probably. Another reason why we're doing this and not relying on our teammates is because Italians do have the benefit of not overpenning cruisers. And how did I get 7 hits? I just told you this ship has terrible accuracy, and here I get 7 out of 9 hits on an Omaha, nearly deleting it. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Normally you miss. Maybe it's just because we're 7 kilometers away. And on, what's it, the Veneto, they get the Italian full speed smokescreen that does absolutely nothing for battleships. I guess if you go dark, then it allows you to go dark for a little bit, but otherwise it's mostly useless. We're going to try and take a pot shot at Dallas. Now here's where we expect to miss most of our shells. You know, if you don't shoot, you're going to hit 0 shells. If you shoot, well, okay, we get 3 shits. I was expecting 1 hit, not 3. Okay, so apparently Veneto wants to make me look like a liar. You're not supposed to do this well. You're supposed to get like 1 out of 9 hits. I have a friend that he calls this the 1 out of 9 because that's his hit. So we're setting up for the Atlanta, because if you don't kill the Atlanta, it will shoot down enough of the airplanes, if not all of the airplanes, it shoots down enough to fail the operation. Because you need at least 8 of the 10 transports craft to come, and the transport craft are the furthest north aircraft, and if the Atlanta's there, it will shoot down. It only needs to shoot down 2 of them, but it will shoot down a lot more than 2. So that is why you need to kill the Atlanta more than the Dallas is usually too far south for it to matter, and the Omaha doesn't have enough AA for it to matter. It is the Atlanta, and with some people like to leave it up a chance and let the bot Alba take care of it. Actually, an Atlanta, if they're both using HE, would absolutely wreck an Alba. And the only help is if the Alba gets torps and was able to set the Atlanta on fire and use armor piercing on the Atlanta. And there's the Clemson. Spawned, just like I said it would. Just spotted there. And so you see the Atlanta was able to get the torps after we softened it up a little bit with our first salvo. So we're keeping the guns over here because it's easier to actually, with how fast the turret versus, you might be able to, well, any other ship that's not Italian, you want to keep the guns on one side, and usually turning the ship is faster. And so this is great example of what to do if you're not an Italian ship and you're in another battleship up here. What is that dispersion? Why is the dispersion so tight? Oh, it's because I'm going to miss. That's why the dispersion is so tight. Okay, rear turret. And there we go, no more Clemson. So now the aerodrome's safe. The Clemson that was spawned by our destroyer that's somehow still alive. No, it has the full screen smoke, that's why it's still alive. The full speed. It's Italian destroyer, that's why I was able to make it out. So here we're swapping. Notice how we swapped to armor piercing and it already bumped up a little bit. That's because of the baked in. What was the name of that skill again? The baked in gun feeder. That's right. So because of the baked in gun feeder in Italian ships, we didn't actually have to take it to have the increased reload. And so I'm tempted to get the Wyoming, but yeah, as I expected. So we're going to go for an Omaha instead. And with the 33-second reload, you really want to choose your targets. There, that's your standard Italian dispersion. 2 hits, one of them's an overpen. Although, at this range, just hitting it all is close to a miracle. So instead of so the route we took is if you are by yourself and you don't trust your other battleships, you go up and you take care of the cruisers. If you are in a division and somebody's already going to do that, or the other battleship said in chat they're going to do that, the other thing you can do, there's two other things you can do. One is you snipe the battleships from far range, which is self-explanatory. You move up a little bit, not too far that you spawn the Clemson, and you just provide gunfire against the battleships. The other thing, here we are shooting the island. The much harder thing you can do is you can take out the, you can actually start shooting Raptor if you have the gun range from about spawn. Raptor is spawned in at the beginning, but does not start launching planes until the timing about the midpoint when the Allied planes start taking off. Raptor will, or the voice line for Raptor will set off either when he's spotted, when he launches planes, or when he takes damage. So when Raptor is spotted, takes damage, or launches planes, that is when the voice line for the CV pops up. As you see, I just pointed on the map, and that is because the first set of cruisers is going over there. And you can tell where they are going to start spawning because of when the planes move in the direction. The planes actually move towards the spawn before the ships spawn in. So that's why if you've watched I don't know, another video, I might have been having an old ship moment when the ships are spawning over on the side where I am, and I don't want to be there, and I'll know that they're spawning before they spawn in because I see the planes coming. And here we are. We're putting the island in between things, us and the enemy ships, so they can't really shoot at us. At the same time, we're going to focus on Raptor because we have the no overpen bonus. And by using spotter plane, we can, this is how at the very beginning of the map, you can use this spot. You take a picture of this. This is where Raptor will be. And so you notice that we get 4 hits even without seeing Raptor. Now if Raptor takes enough damage, she will start moving. And if this happens before anybody spots her, then it's hard to tell if Raptor has moved or not. The one downside about this is, yeah, see, Raptor's already moving, and so that our shells miss. The downside about firing blind is you get no increased accuracy, so your shells become very hard to aim. They will go all over. Which, if you don't know the exact position of Raptor, that actually might help. And you see, we have the very bad 18.1 kilometer gun range. Italian battleships with 18.1 gun range at max upgrade. Feels bad. Short range guns, short range AA. Meh dispersion, where even at 7 kilometers we only get 1 out of 3 shells. 3 out of 9. 1 out of 3 shells. The benefit is just well, I guess all the counterbalance for not overpenning cruisers. and being able to use the Citadel cruisers with sap.
Problema risolto, signore. Aircraft carrier destroyed.
Hey, look, a secondary kill. Our secondaries can actually do something. And that probably was one of our bigger secondaries because the 90mm secondaries do nothing. So, at this point, we're leaving, since all of our team is up north, all of our team is by the Kiel Circle, I am actually going to leave the second wave to them. The second wave as they are killing the destroyers. And so I'm moving to more or less get into position against the Dallas, the Sims, and the third wave. So I know no one's coming from the right, so I don't really have to worry about that. I really have, and what I'm going to do is see the island in front of me. I'm using this island. I will be using it as kind of like a block to help with something against the second wave, maybe. Hopefully it'll help. No, never mind. Going too fast. Need to dodge these torps from the Sims. And that's why I can't sit still. I have no idea where the torps are coming, when the torps are coming. Oh wait, those torps went to the other destroyer. Okay. So I didn't know when the torps are coming, and so that's why I'm was doing the evasive maneuvers, because I was expecting the Sims to take out. But after seeing the torps going towards the destroyer, I realized it was okay, and I could go ahead and get my 1 out of 9 shells against the Dallas, while my secondaries worked over the destroyer, and maybe my teammates worked over the Sims. What the Italians specifically have, it's really nice, is very high plating. So the Italians, the Russians, and the Germans all have high armor values. The Germans have a high chance to be set on fire, but they don't take much damage from anything. The Italians, I don't have fire prevention, so of course I'm going to get that. But the Italians and the Russians just have high armor, but are very easy to be citadeled. However, as you notice, the Dallas is just bouncing off of my belt, because the belt's so thick that the armor-piercing shells don't do anything. Now, since it has an easy to hit citadel, I want to make sure that my nose is in towards the Missouri. Because, yeah, even with the nose more or less in, it has to be fully in, otherwise it's not going to, I'm going to take damage. And so there we go. We got our second fire. We're going to go ahead and use our DCP. We use smoke, but it's not going to help because the radar. It's more or less just to have them burn the radar. So you see I'm lining up armor piercing for the next shot. Noticing this, I actually aim above. I don't aim at the water line. Still only 3 hits. But I aimed up to try and get more upper casement and superstructure to get more damage with the sap. But yeah, if you notice, I am out here taking the damage, being the beating stick, while the rest of my team can go farm damage. And that is how, in a battleship, here we have 1.4 million potential tanked. You are doing team playing while being in a position that you can do damage. And somehow we made it through alive with a good bit of damage. At 162k, 3 kills, and second on our team. It's actually really good, a lot better than I thought for Veneto. But yeah, so 138k with our 147k with our main battery, 138k sap, and 15k with our secondaries. 128 with fire. How do we get fires? Secondaries. We have 3 fires with our secondaries. Not so sure against what or when. You can go back through the video and tell me in the comments. And as you see, 150k-ish with 19k experience using blues. Really good game for running with an Italian battleship. They're honestly, it's a meh boat. But as you can see, even with a meh boat, you can still do well if you are in the right position and doing the right things. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to put that below in the comments section. If you have any, if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. If you want to see more videos, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but I'm not going to force you because I am not your mother. But I do hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.